Good afternoon, Flosstube. Today is Sunday the 6th of October 2024 and this is Flosstube number 25. I'm Lindsay, Cheshire Stitcher, both here on YouTube and over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel. Mostly it's about cross stitch, but I do share other things sometimes. 9 times out of 10 that's going to be my beading, and I have got some of that for you today. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer, it's lovely to see you again. And a very warm welcome if you are one of the 13 new subscribers I've had since my last video. If you are new or maybe watching me for the first time, I would very much appreciate it if you could hit like for this video and any others of mine that you may have watched, and maybe even hit that subscribe button. The more likes and subscribes, the better the algorithm works. I don't know entirely how it does it, but it does. It just helps to help me get seen. And as I said in my last video, it makes me laugh because it shows recommended videos and it keeps showing me mine. You know, when you watch one, and I tend to watch them on the iPad, and I'm watching one and up the side it'll come and it'll go, oh, recommended videos for you, and there's me. I've had my box of doom shown to me a couple of times, or one of my boxes of dooms, and I've had my last video. Right, I've done the admin bit and a bit of a waffle, I do apologise. Today I have got a Saff, I've got a new start, I've got some PhDs, a little bit of a plan, and a little bit of stash enhancement. But first, I was watching Just So Sherry last week and found out that I won one of her giveaways. It was for a chart from Mama Loves You GB's Etsy shop. So I got in touch with Sherry, Julie, and I've told her which chart, and now I'm just waiting for it to arrive in my inbox, and then I'll tell you which one it was. But I think this weekend is Stitch in London, so I would imagine Michelle, Mama Loves You GB, has been busy getting ready for that and hasn't had the time. And also, I had a mention of Stitching Bee, and her name at the moment completely escapes me. She mentioned she'd been watching, not my last one, the one before, and I'd been to Create Nostalgia and bought some trims, so she went and bought some trims. They're really good. They're about 65p for 3 meters. It's not expensive. So if you're looking for some trim that's a chenille trim that's cheaper than the Lady Dot and easier to get hold of, go and have a look at Create Nostalgia. It's well worth it. And also, on the subject of giveaways, as you know, I did one in my last video for my Flossversary. Only one has been claimed. So the voucher, £15 voucher for Talking Dog Stitchery, was won by Debbie Williams 4048. I'm still waiting for you to get in touch with me. And the bag, the one that I made, that also hasn't been claimed, and that was won by Sharon Littlefield 9217. Sorry, looking down at my notes. If you two ladies could please get in touch with me, so that I can get that sorted out, sent to you, I would be grateful. If not, if I haven't heard of them by the 19th of October, which will be the day before my next video, then I will redraw them. I don't want them hanging around forevermore in a day. So that's that. Now I'll do my Saff, my start and finish. As you know, I was doing Sunflower September, organised by Caroline Stitch Corner, and I said I was going to work on another one. I had a few more in mind, and I did this one. It's a freebie from Pinker and Pumpkin blogspot. I am planning on making it into a bookmark. It's been finished a good week, 10 days. I've just not had the time. I've been busy. My partner's been off quite a lot of the time because it was his birthday earlier in the week, and he always books his birthday off, and then he had his rotated 2 days off, so he was off for a chunk, and then the week before he was off for a chunk. He was only in work for about 3 days, and then he was off again. So yeah, I've just not had the time to get it finished. So as I say, freebie from Pinker and Pumpkin. This is a scrap of 32 count linen, one of those ones that I bought many years ago at Doodlecraft in Bakewell. Sadly no longer there, and it was just labelled as 32 count linen, so I've no idea of make or anything like that. I used the call for colours for the sunflower. There is actually two, there you go, sorry, you maybe didn't want to see it that close, but there we go. So I used the 3 called fors. There is literally only 3 colours in it. I used those called for in the sunflower, but I decided to have a route in my stash and decided to do the letters in something else. And I didn't know what I wanted, and I was looking through and I found this. It's a overdyed. Is it an overdyed? No, it's not an overdyed. It's a variegated from JP Coates that I've had for I don't know how long. I think I was sent it years ago in an exchange, and I thought that fitted it perfectly. So that's my Saff, my start and finish. It was a really nice, and it only took a couple of evenings. It was a really quick one to do. As I say, I intend to make it into a bookmark. Hopefully I'll get some of the, I've got lots of things to get finished in this next week or so. Next, I had a new start. I did tell you about this one as well. This is the United Kingdom. It's a Doodlecraft design. As I said in my last video, I stitch models for Doodlecraft, and when she gets a stitching inquiry, she passes them on to me, and this was the latest one. Most of the time people don't take me up on it because it's the age-old thing. They don't realise the amount of time that goes into it, how much work is involved, and that costs. But this particular lady was quite happy with the price I quoted her for stitching it, and it had arrived the day before my last video. So I've made a start on it. It's only had one evening on it, so there's not a lot done. Literally, there's about 140 stitches there. It was one of those days I'd done a lot. I was really tired, didn't get very much done at all. But that is the start of the bottom. So that is this bit here. There's a few more rows to do, and then I will have reached the bottom of the flag. So it's on 14 count Ada. Doodlecraft kits are really good. Really good. I like them. And I'm not just saying that because I stitch for her. I know it sounds like it, but it's not the truth. Right, so that's that bit done. PhDs next. Let me find my right bit of paper. As ever, my notes are down here, so I apologise for looking down. In no particular order. There aren't huge amounts of them because I've been, like I say, I've been busy and I've been tired and things have just gotten away from me. So anyway, I said I was going to carry on working on Hendrika Gast, the sample of September, which I did. So I finished, get that over there like that. I finished these, which I think is parts 4 and 5. and I've started part 6, and then you've got 7, 8, 9, I think it's 7, 8, 9, the alphabet, but they're all done in what she calls a star stitch. So it's going to be a case of a bit of this and then a motif or a line or a bit of border or whatever. I've got every intention of breaking those letters up, and I started with the one that was closest and easiest to do, because I happen to have this creamy colour in my needle to start. So this is 35 count tin roof from Weeks Dye Works that I bought off Flossie Sews and Grows at the Wrexham retreat organised by Stitcher Lynn, or Lynn the Lancashire Stitcher I should say, back in May. I bought it thinking, oh, I like that, don't know what I'm going to use it for. And then the summer stitch along for Hendrika came along, and I thought, oh, perfect. So there we go. I'm using the Sulky conversion pack, and the charts are still available. It's on Soedidee, Soedidee. I will put a link down for you down below. But as I say, it's still available. You can still download all the charts at the moment. I don't know how much longer they're going to be available for. So if you like it, then go get it. I mean, like I say, I'm using the Sulky conversion pack, but it is charted for DMC. So it's not one that you have to use Sulkies or you have to use silk. You've got good old plain DMC. It's just, I love Sulky thread, so I bought the conversion pack. Next, one of my loves of my stitching life is Tonis. This is Tonis Rangees. Also, again, this was a free design from Soedidee, but this is no longer available as a free chart. It is, however, available as a book. You can buy the book. It's about €16, which I don't know what that converts to in pounds. Probably 12, 13, 14, something like that. I'm on band 37, only just started it last night before I went to bed, so I've got a hanging thread because I will be working on it as soon as I finish recording. Last time you saw it, I was on this band. I think I had a couple more of these to do and all of that bottom row to do. Obviously since then I've done, it's not easy to hold, I've done 35, 36, so I'm on 37 of 41. I'm hoping that I can have it finished and on the spool. That's my plan. I've got some spools and it should fit on according to the tape measure. I'm hoping that I can have that done for the Yorkshire Stitchers retreat at the end of this month. So I've got a couple of weekends left before the retreat, so, well, it's all about, say, 5 days worth of stitching time. So we'll see, but keep your fingers crossed I can get it done. I'd love to have it finished and on a spool to put on the finishing table. Fabric is 40 count Vidal from Zweigart, and I am using a selection of red silks from Stash. I couldn't tell you what all the other ones are, but because I only finished this band last night, this is MPI 502 and this is MPI 504. But normally I couldn't tell you what they are. Oh, what's that? I had a good look. I have got more written down in a notebook. So keep your fingers crossed I can get it finished. Then we have my current Love Quilt Square. It was getting on my nerves in the Q snap. It was getting it was hard to do the corners because it's quite a large design, and my Q snap is well, it's not a Q snap, it's one of those R&R ones, you know, the English version, and it's gone loose, and it doesn't hold the fabric very well, so I've changed to the Nerge. This really needs to be finished by my next video, so again, keep your fingers crossed for me, even if I have to do a couple of evenings on it in the week, because normally it only gets worked on when I've got the boys or if I go to bingo. So this swirl on this side is virtually done, or there's a bit more hair to come down. This one, I've got this on this side and a little bit where my giraffe's head is. I've got sleeps here to finish. So there's not a massive amount, and it would have been a bit further on had I not missed out one row around here and had to pull out all of this and restitch it, which I did last week. It is what it is. I will put a link to Love Quilts down below as ever. If you think you have a family member that may benefit from a quilt, they have to be under the age of 18 and some form of illness or disability. One of my grandsons has had one. He has ADHD, so that entitled him to a quilt. You fill out the form. It has to be done by a parent. You fill out the form on the Love Quilt site and they go into the lottery. So you might be lucky and get drawn next month. You might get drawn in 6 months. I'm not sure if it resets at the start of the year. I don't entirely know. But if you would like to come and stitch for us, that would be great. There is a huge variety of charts in the files. You don't have to pay for them. This is one from our files. So unfortunately I can't link to it or anything for you. But you can buy charts on Etsy. We have, like I say, we have a huge range. We've got some Star Wars ones which are licensed to us. We've got a few Disney ones that are licensed to us for this use only. We've got some Harry Potter ones again that are for our use only, and the Harry Potter ones aren't even allowed to be put in the files. If you want to stitch a Harry Potter one for a Harry Potter quilt, you have to actually ask the designer, and she goes and checks that you have actually signed up to do that square. But there's all sorts, and we have loads of different subjects. So as I say, there's this one. This is for Disney princesses. Superheroes are popular. Unicorns have been quite popular. Space is quite popular. We've had unusual requests. We had one little lad loved Henry vacuums, so there was a whole load of vacuum cleaners designed. We've had monkey puzzle trees, absolutely all sorts of different things. So, you know, come and have a look, and if you can quilt, that would be fantastic, because I know we could do with a few more quilters. Excuse me. She's on 18 count Ada. Have to stitch on Ada. 14, 16, 18, depends. There's a design size limit. So sometimes you need to go up a count for it to fit. So that one has to be done on 18, because otherwise it wouldn't even fit on this fabric. And the other bit of information you need is I'm using DMC 211 and 415. Okay. Next, we have my commission piece. I have been working on filling in her cheek. It's not as stripy as it looks. It's just the way the light's hitting it, I think. I did a little bit of white down here just to finish off a thread, and then I've moved up and I've been doing a few rows of this, and then I've done some filling, then another row, or well, one length basically, which is usually about two and a half rows, the length I cut mine. So I've done a couple of rows, filled in, couple of rows, filled in, and that's what I'm going to continue to do for the next couple of weeks on her. I do try and get 200-ish stitches in on a day, which, whilst I'm doing things like this, is quite easy because straight lines don't take long. So I will, like I say, I'll carry on with this. I've filled in all around here. There was some gaps, so all that's been done. Next, I think I'm going to fill this area in and come across and fill this in. And when I get fed up of skin tones, I'll come down here and do hair and background, just for a change. I've still got quite a way to go, as you can see, but quite a bit of what's left is blocks. Not square blocks, but lines, like her cheeks. Not a fan of faces, as you know, but I've got to do them. And then my last PhD that's had any attention in the last couple of weeks is Flea Market Flowers. Last time you saw it, I just had the darker red in this corner done, and I'd needed to frog here because this was one too short, so that was too low, so I've done that. And then as you can see, I've done the green, and I had quite a long length, so I've done 2 flower stalks for another couple of blocks. And then I've started to do, excuse the hanging thread, as ever, I put it down when I put it down. If it's got a thread, it's got a thread. Doesn't bother me. I also finished filling in this central design, and then I've been going around these flowers, and then realised as I was finishing on this bit that I've got a frog again, because I don't know if you can tell, that one there is too low down. That pale pink on that square, I've made so many mistakes. I've done this so many times, but I've caught it quite quickly. It wasn't till I was nearly finished, and for some reason I happened to notice it was wrong. So next time this comes out to play, I will finish off this length of thread, and then I will frog that. There's not a huge amount left to do in this block. I think all there is, I've got leaves on these stalks, and I need to fill the centre of the flowers in, and then I think that is another block finished. So I'm quite hopeful I'll get it finished this year, especially seeing as I've got Cheshire Stitchers next weekend. I've got a stitching day at Create Nostalgia the weekend after, and then it's the retreat, so it will be with me at the retreat. So again, keep your fingers crossed for a finish. My fabric is 32 count white Murano from Zweigart, and it's just good old DMC. Thoroughly enjoying it. I can't remember where I bought my needle minder. I bought it at Yorkshire Stitchers a couple of months ago. It might be No More Lost Needles, but I could be wrong. It says cross stitches in my DNA. Very fitting. So there we go. That's my Flea Market Flowers. This was my birthday start last year, and I would like to get it finished this year. And that's it for PhDs. Now, when I went to Yorkshire Stitchers last week, 28th, yeah, last Saturday, we could do a course on a different way of finishing your projects off. Now, I've never done drawn thread, but we were expertly taught by Maggie how to do this. To basically, you we folded over the fabric, we made a mark in the corner, then we measured it, and then did the same on the other 3 corners with the mark. You cut 6 strands. Well, you start off by cutting 1 strand, pull it all the way across till you reach your dot on that corner, and then you can cut your other 5 and put your other 5 out. So we did that all the way around, and then we were shown how to pull the threads together. She wanted us to do a side and a corner so that we knew how to do the corner basically, and then we were shown how to crochet around the edges, and that's the one I picked. It's like a white with little gold flecks in it. I can see where my dots were, so I may well find another different embroidery. Well, this is a crochet cotton. I have got some crochet cottons. I might find that one and take this out and start it again and finish it, and then maybe find something to sew in the centre. It was very enjoyable, and it was very interesting learning how to do that. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Right, let's have a beading next. You might remember a couple of videos ago I'd been to create nostalgia for something, and whilst I was there I bought a Wonderland kit, this one. Well, it was beading group last week, and I took my beaded cert with me, and I took this kit with me, and in the end decided that I didn't really feel like working on cert. I know I said I wanted it finished this year, and there's still time, but you never know, it may not get done this year, and if it doesn't, it'll be next year. But I made a start on this snowman, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The chart is so clear, it's lovely, good instructions, and I'm literally, you come up, you pick your bead up, you go down the hole on the diagonal, you come back up the hole, pick your bead up, go down your hole. That's it. So that's how far I got in the course of the day. I've got one bead there that's not sitting quite right. I'll sort that out. But it was really, really enjoyable, and I would like to be able to work on it at home, but I've made a start on Christmas gifts, so there's not going to be much beading for me to show you in the next few months, a couple of months probably. So because I'm not going to have huge amounts of beading to show, and like I say, today I've only got this one, I'm going to start showing you some of my older beading finishes. And the first one I've pulled out is this. I just wanted to make one. I can't, Anchor something I think her name was. I will dig out the link for you. I just wanted to have a go at making a purse. Pardon me. It's fully functional. When I was looking at it, my partner offered to buy me the clasp, so I did. So we did. That gives you a much better idea of the colours, because obviously this has been sitting out on the side, so it's gotten a little bit dull. But that's, I used gunmetal, which I like as an alternative to black whenever possible. And one of the colours I think is DB40, which is like a nice coppery colour. But other than that, I couldn't tell you. And when you've done it all and you've sewn it all together, you have a few little gaps. So you get some diamantes. But you have to get the ones that have got a cross on the back, not a flat back, I think it was. And there we go. Thoroughly enjoyed making that. you then, once you've done everything, you have to sew your stitching, your beadwork to the clasp, and then I just put in just to hide all the stitch, because you don't want to see bare stitching on a purse. So I used the gunmetal to cover it over, and then if I wanted to I could make a strap, because this particular clasp has straps on it. So I just thought I would show you that. So that's something I finished a good few years ago now. Right, so there we go. That's the beading. So next we have stash enhancement. Just have a drink and then we'll go on to that. I've just realised I didn't bring something down. Never mind. A couple of days after my last video, we went to a car boot sale. If you live in Cheshire, you may know about it. It's the big one at Winnick Quay, opposite B&Q. On a Sunday morning, it's huge. Well worth going to. And the thing I forgot to bring down, one lady there this time round, I've not seen her there before, but she was there. She was selling canvases, printed canvases. I think that's what they look like. But she had a box on the floor that was, it said free, and it was mounts and pieces of mount board. So I picked up one of the mount board ones, and it's about that thick, with various sizes of mount board, and I thought that would come in handy for finishing. Some of it is bright red, some of it's green. I can just turn it over and use the back, but I forgot to pick that up. It's upstairs, I forgot to bring that down. But also at the car boot sale, I found some frames. So I've got two of these. The hanger says this way, but you know, that way, either way. Good big chunky frame. I paid £1 for the two of them. Both identical, £1 for the two of them. My partner has offered to touch them up a little bit because they are in places. This one's not too bad, but the other one's a bit, in places is a bit tatty, so he said he will touch it up for me. Excuse the washing drying on the radiator that you could see in the reflection, but there we go. And then I also picked up two of these. Again, £1 for the two frames. And looking at them, if I'm looking at the back, I think they could well be professional frames because they're quite flush at the back. But anyway, £1 for the two. Obviously I'll take that picture out, and again the other one is a bit more battered than this one, but at 50p with a partner that's quite happy to tart them up a little bit for me, I couldn't leave them there. Yesterday I had to go and pick something up from the place where we meet for Cheshire Stitchers because they're closing for a refurb. So I had to go and pick something up. On the route there, I thought, oh, I'll go to the charity shop in Hertford, which is the local, it's one of the little outlying villages, but it's the charity shop for the local hospice. And sometimes they have some cracking craft stuff. So I got, obviously, a brand new flexi hoop. Never been used. I thought I can put something in that for finishing, because as you know, my box of doom, I've got a lot of stuff in there. So I bought that. And then I found a little frame. I thought that was quite nice, just a plain simple black frame, and it's in good nick. That doesn't need any faffing around with to tart it up a little bit. So yeah, there we go, £1. I don't mind paying a bit more for the charity shop. couple of weeks ago we went out to my daughter's when my partner was off on the Saturday, and we're calling it the range. I got that. Now if you've watched my Box of Doom videos, I bought this one for the Who's Had My Scissors poem. One of the that's in video number 1, very early on. It's something from the Cross Stitch Guild from 20 odd years ago, I think, when they first of all started. So I bought that frame for that, and then I bought 3 of these. Sorry, it got an itch. The kitchen ones, the peas and carrots, tomatoes and peppers. So those are going in there, in these. So I've got 3 of these. They all look the same. You don't need to see three identical looking frames. Hopefully I will get time to get them done before my next video. And then lastly, yesterday my Caterpillar subscription box finally arrived. Everybody else got theirs days before me, but I've got a useless post. Well, if my post lady isn't in, we don't get post. It's a pain in the bum. Or if we do get post, it's very sporadic because it's finding cover. So anyway, this arrived yesterday. So in it you get a card that just says thank you for supporting our small business. This time round we've got a hot chocolate as our sweet treat. So I will be having that a little later. We got some little jingle bells, which you can never have too many jingle bells when it comes to a Christmas design. One of the DMC light effects that will probably end up in my stash unused, because apparently it's horrible stuff. I don't know, I've not used it. I don't tend to use that. We got the hoop. This is a 6-inch hoop to put the design in when we've stitched it, and some pom-pom trim. Suppose you could, if you wanted to, put that around your hoop, and then that's the design. This time round, believe in magic. I will of course change my fabric because I don't do Ada unless it's for love quilts or I'm being paid to stitch it. I'm not a fan, and I know lots of people love Ada, and that's absolutely fine. It's just not for me to stitch on. So I will change the fabric, probably to a Sparkly's hand dyed, but it will depend when I come to do it what I've got in my stash at the time. And that's that for stash enhancement. Coming up, plans. I should have told you before I did the bit of stash enhancement, because I know people don't like it and may well have left already. My next video will be the 20th of October. My partner's going away on a fishing trip again. It'll be his last one of the year. He'll leave early on the 20th, and so I'll have all the Sunday, all the Monday, and till mid-afternoon on the Tuesday. Had to rearrange the boys, so I will be having the boys on Wednesday that week instead of Monday. I've swapped with the other person that does it, has them. So plans wise, I'm going to carry on working on my commission piece. I've still got some secret stitching to do, which is one reason there wasn't so many PhDs this time. I will keep working on the flag, and I would like to have the princess, the love quilt princess, beautiful princess, finished for the next one. It may be finished, washed and already sent, so you only get a picture of it, but we'll see. But it does need to be finished by the next video. And it would be nice as well if I could finish Tonna. If I can't get her finished, it would be if I've only got a couple of bands left to do. The last 2 bands are only small, and they are the kind of ones that I could literally do. I could do both in a day if I sit down and put my mind to it. Don't faff around on my phone all day. Which I've been doing a fair bit as well. Not good, I know, but we all do it at times, don't we? So that's me done for today. I will dig out the name of the designer of the purse and put that in the box below, along with any people that I've mentioned today. And if there's anything you want to ask me about anything, feel free. I don't bite. As I say, if Debbie Williams 4048 and Sharon Littlefield 9217 can get in touch with me before the 19th of October with your details so that I can get your prizes out to you, that would be great. If not, I will redraw it on the 19th of October, ready for the 20th. Until then, take care of yourselves and happy stitching. Bye.